Hey, Zay, what you cooking, bruh?
What is up, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Ins and Out D podcast. I am your host, DT Sensei. Today, we are here to going to be recapping the New York Giants game. We won 21-6, and we're also going to be previewing the Packers game and looking at the Week 2 slate. So, just getting through the first couple of things. Shout out to everybody who's been watching the channel, watching me also on Red Zone the Lab with Deuce, Breeze, and CeeLo. Also watch me on Enters the Lab podcast. Much support, much love to the crew, everybody's son. Without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. So, the Washington Commanders start out the season 1-0. Commanders defeat New York Giants 21-6. So, just going by the instant thoughts I've done some pods past couple of days. The game went as expected. It went as expected. The game was pretty ugly, to say the least. Offensively, we were able to do some things. It wasn't as consistent. It was a lot of penalties. It was a little bit sloppy at times on that end of the football. We should have scored way more points on the New York Giants, but when you get in these divisional games and sometimes the refs be blind to an extent, that's how some of the games be flowing. But when I go back and watch over the game, I think obviously we have to give praise to this defense, what they did on Sunday. They were able to pressure Russell Wilson. They were able to stop the run, something that we were trying to see if we were able to improve in those areas. And the secondary was on display. A healthy secondary with Marshall Lattimore, Mikey Sanders still playing the slot, Trey Amos, the rookie out of Ole Miss, Will Harris, the guy they signed from the Saints this offseason. So you're starting to see some of these pieces starting to gel in, although we will have to say, it's only game one, and also just we're still trying to see where we're at in terms of the talent against these other teams that's going to be much better than the New York Giants. But nevertheless, Commanders are in the winning books. They are 1-0, most definitely. And just to finish the week one slate out, honestly, I think Commanders they put themselves in position because a lot of people were banking on the Giants to upset us, or D-line about to go crazy, 7 sacks and stuff like that, and rightfully so. The Giants were able to get pressure. They were able to get some sacks, but it didn't matter because Jaden Daniels was just spectacular in those big down conversions. It's a reason why he was the number 2 pick. Like, even when we have these mistakes, he's able to make the impossible possible. And any other quarterback in the NFL, you probably can't say that for, but outside of the few elites. And what Jaden Daniels did on Sunday was get them out of bad second and long and third and long situations to keep the drive going and time of possession. And I think that is something very good, but you don't always want to keep doing that. Now, we head to this week, and obviously the biggest game this week, one of the biggest games, I'll say, is going to be Commanders traveling to take on the Green Bay Packers. And the Packers are also 1-0 as they defeated Detroit Lions by a score of 27-13. So all that being said, looking at the Packers with a Jordan Love, a Matthew Golden, Romeo Dobbs, a Jaden Reed, They have some young talented pass catchers. They have Josh Jacobs, a running back. The offensive line is talented. There is some updates to that I will talk about later on in the show, but the Packers are a playoff contender as well, and they just got better on the defensive front with Micah Parsons. And this is going to be a matchup of talent on talent, wits on wits. Cue Joe Witt reference. But understanding that the Commanders' offense, they got to get the bad taste out their mouth, quite honestly. Although they did score 21 points, they should have scored more, and they should have been more consistent, especially with all the penalties and stuff going in. Especially still trying to get the passing game going. Passing was okay on Sunday, but I know it could be much more explosive. So that's where trying to get Terry McLaurin acclimated, trying to get Noah Brown acclimated. No guys missed majority of training camp and OTAs with Debo Samuels and Zach Ertz. Trying to get that offense to reach its 100% potential, because for what it seems, that offensive line has shown the improvement. That running game definitely has improved. I think for me is getting the passing game going, and the matchup to me will be the Green Bay's corners against our wide receiver room. Now, of course, they don't have star-studded names in that quarterback room, but I think with that pass rush, that can help neutralize all the big plays when it comes from an opposing offense. But I think the biggest benefit for Washington is getting a short week. Yes, it's on the road, but you're trying to get this offense going. You're trying to see, okay, can this defense show that it's for real? And I think we're going to cherish matchups and stuff like this because it matters in front of everybody, but it also matters for a Commanders fan base that has Super Bowl aspirations. So the Green Bay Packers bring in a top defense to go up against our offense, but the Packers offense, which is also very potent, will be going up against our revamped defense. That will also be a key in the game. And now it's going to be much of a big different challenge than what we had with the New York Giants, because the only star player that really need to be feared from the Giants is Malik Neighbors. And although the Packers don't have Malik Neighbors, they do have wide receivers that have roles on the team. They're able to do what they're supposed to do. But Josh Jacobs is definitely the star in that backfield. Back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons. The former Alabama running back, he's going to be somebody that Joe Witt and them going to have to key on and make sure he doesn't get going. And, just seeing that how this matchup is definitely going to be very enticing just for the media eyes, because, you have Jaden Daniels and Jordan Love, two young star quarterbacks that the league is trying to push for ultimate fandom, but also, just this could potentially be an NFC East Championship game preview, or it could be a playoff preview of what it could be. It also could be a rivalry. You never know. Jordan Love is a player. I know some people are very iffy on Jordan Love, but I like Jordan Love. The turnovers need to stop, but Jordan Love is somebody that is highly praised by some in the NFL community, and some people are not all the way bought in on him. But I can't be the person to try to convert. You're all to your own opinions. But Jaden Daniels for this Jordan Love is definitely going to be an exciting matchup on Thursday night, and I can't wait for that. So another key thing will be the injuries on the offensive line. So the Packers currently have Zach Tom and Aaron Banks on the injury report. So it's definitely a question if these guys will be able to play, because if they don't play, it'll be a big boost for the defensive line that's trying to get after the quarterback like they did on Sunday with Lawrence Armstrong, Frankie Louvu, Dietrich Wise, Jacob Martin. Kinlaw had some pressures, and Jerome Payne had a crazy performance on Sunday. So the key thing to watch out is going to be the two offensive line situation for the Packers, replacing them guys, and can the defensive line take advantage of it? Because Jordan Love was only pressured 8 out of 22 times when he dropped back. That's not enough. You gotta get in his face. You gotta make him not take care of the ball. You gotta get the ball out of his hands so the defense can get some rest because Packers offense is very potent, man. Like they're gonna be going down the field, but it's also a question on can this defense prevent them from scoring so many points. And also understanding that and showing this, I'm thinking this because this game has to me personally, I believe this game has a lot of stake because a lot of people see the Commanders still as a 1 year wonder, the underdog, a guy that we're not confident in. I think the Commanders are going to try to say something about that. The Packers were the one who got knocked out in the wild card. Commanders were in the NFC East. I mean, not NFC East, NFC Championship game. It should be contender against contender, as Real said on Twitter. And it's going to be a fun matchup, man. I really think this game is going to go down to the wire. It's going to be high popping, sparking, all that in Lambeau, especially a legendary stadium like Lambeau Field, one of the most iconic stadiums in sports history. So this is where I'm at, previewing this game. We do a tale of the tape, quarterback against quarterback. I gotta go with Jaden, hot hand right now. Running backs, although the run game definitely looked good, Josh Jacobs is still a guy. I'm taking the Packers running backs over ours. Wide receiver. Packers have a talented wide receiver core that has multiple roles. Tavian Wicks, Matthew Golden. They just drafted him in the first round. Jaden Reed, Romeo Dobbs. Talented young wide receiver core. But Terry McLaurin, Deebo Samuel, Noah Brown, Jalen Lane. My top 4 guys are definitely good. Now, we could probably debate about maybe between, 3 and 4, but I like my wide receiver room as well. So I'm going to say Commanders because, Terry McLaurin is the most recognizable face in that room. And then Deebo Samuels had a crazy game last Sunday, and I expect him to have a crazy game tomorrow night as well. Tight ends, Zach Ertz is very reliable, but Tucker Kraft has some youth in his jump. I'll take the Packers tight end room. Offensive line is this is I would say this one is somewhat tricky because both O lines are good, so I'm probably going to say a wash. When it comes to offensive lines. Defensive lines, Micah Parsons, Rashawn Gary, 2 edge rushers right there. I can't think of the defensive tackles that are in the middle of the Packers defense, but maybe I should separate it. I think that our interior is better than the Packers, but our edge room will probably take a little downside against the Packers. Linebackers are washed to me because yes, Bobby Wagner is longer than 2, but he's still producing. But I also like this young core linebackers for the Green Bay Packers, Edgerrin Cooper and Quay Walker. Bringing some athleticism to the room. Corners taking the Commanders. Much improved corner room, especially from last year. No St. Juice, no Michael Davis. My safety room. Xavier McKinney at one starting spot, but I think it's washed when it comes to the strong safety. Special teams, I don't even trust my kicker right now. Only person I trust is the punter, and he probably might not play, Tress Wade. So I'm going to say a wash on special teams as well. I think overall there are some spots where it's even. I do think a lot of people think the Packers are going to blow us out. I just don't see it. And of course, I'm going with the good guys, man. Um, I'm going to go with the Washington Commanders winning by a score of 31-24. So we kick off Thursday night with my Commanders, but we also got to finish the week 2 slate, man. Let's go ahead and get it started. So we have the 49ers taking on the Saints. Ooh, 49ers banged up. I still think I'll probably take the San Francisco 49ers over the Saints. Week 2, we have the Jaguars over the Bengals. Bengals got in an ugly game last Sunday against the Browns, which infuriated me because I had Joe Burrow in fantasy. So I think I'm going to shoot my luck this week and go ahead on and take the Bengals for another week 2 victory for them. Definitely, I think they need to get off to a fast start in their tough conference. Yeah, the Seattle Seahawks taking on the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh. I'm gonna go with Pittsburgh winning against the Seattle Seahawks. Then we have the Rams taking on the Titans. Cam Ward's second start against Matthew Stafford and that defense. Sorry, I'm definitely going to have to go with the Rams on this one. Then you'll have the Patriots taking on the Dolphins. Ooh, Dolphins look bad. They look bad Sunday, bro. And I had them winning against the Colts. I think they play better this Sunday. I'm going to go on the coin flip, and I'm going to go ahead and take Miami for a victory. Then you have the Bills taking on the Jets. Jets scored 32 points against the Steelers last weekend. That is absolutely insane. I'm still taking the Buffalo Bills, though. Much more established team. More weapons, more pass catchers. I'm taking the Bills. Then we have the Browns taking on the Ravens. The Ravens got a rebound, right? So I'm gonna go ahead on with the Ravens. New York Giants at the Dallas Cowboys NFC East rivalry. Is this the game Jackson Dart gets some reps in? He probably will. I'm gonna go ahead and take the Dallas Cowboys. Then we have another sneaky matchup. We have the Bears at the Lions. Why is that significant? Ben Johnson returned to Detroit to take on his former team that he was an OC for past 3 to 4 seasons. Ooh, that's definitely gonna be a ball. I'll tell you that right now. All right. Just to finish up the slate, we have the Broncos taking on the Colts. Was that a mirage we saw last week with Daniel Jones at quarterback? We're all going to have to find out, but I do think they definitely face a tougher test this week. So I'm going to go ahead and take on the Broncos. Then we have the Panthers taking on the Arizona Cardinals at 4:05. Cardinals sneak a win against the Saints. Carolina gets smacked against Jacksonville. Somebody got to give. It's battle of number 1 overall picks as well. Bryce Young versus Kyler Murray. Almost the same height. Man, this is a tough one. I think I'm going to go on a coin flip one, too. I think I'm going to take the Cardinals to win at home. Go 2-0. Then you have the big game of the week. You have the Super Bowl rematch with the Philadelphia Eagles taking on the Kansas City Chiefs at 4:25 to get the 18. You get Tom Brady and Burkhart calling the game. I think Kevin Burkhardt. Yep, Kevin Burkhardt. Those two guys are calling the game. So I'm rooting for the Chiefs, but I think ultimately the Eagles are going to win. I think they have a little bit more offensively. Um, but I'm definitely rooting for the Chiefs. Third Sunday night matchup. Excuse me. You have the Atlanta Falcons taking on Minnesota Vikings. Just saw J.J. McCarthy rebound and got his team to a victory. 21 straight unanswered points. Michael Penix in Atlanta, the guy gets something going. Yeah, give me the Vikings. I think the Vikings are going to win this one. Then we got, to finish off, we have a double Monday night football matchup. First game is at 7 o'clock. We have the Buccaneers taking on the Houston Texans. This is a rematch from C.J. Stroud's rookie year when the Bucs came to the Texans and then they won by the very last minute of the game. Ooh, this is going to be very enticing. But I'm very worried about the Texans online and how they have played the first week. And they're going up against Todd Bowles in this defense. Go ahead and give me the Tampa Bay Buccaneers winning against the Texans. And the final game of the Week 2 slate will be the Chargers at the Raiders. Raiders, surprisingly, well, not really surprisingly, but they won against New England. And you have the Chargers who shocked the world to beat Kansas City Chiefs. I think this game is going to be better than what people anticipated. And you think the Raiders are going to be a team that just give in. So I do think the Chargers have a little bit more offensively. Not only that, but I do think defensively they can make some stuff work against Geno Smith. So go ahead and give me the Chargers to beat the Las Vegas Raiders. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. This was the Ins and Out D podcast, a quick Week 2 slate and recap of Week 1 with your boy DT. So catch me next week as we should be talking about watching the Commanders win, but also previewing Week 3. Going to be doing this every week with you guys. It's your boy DT Sensei, and I'll see you guys next time.
Hey, Zay, what you cooking, bruh?